Democracy means power of the people, but for generations, that was my cat, but for generations, Black and brown people have been systemically excluded from the American democratic process, from slavery to Jim Crow to today's voting restrictions. But if we understand democracy and use it, we can change policies, protect our families, and demand what's ours. Our voices are important and deserve to be heard. My goal today will be to inform you about not only the basics of how our government operates, but how the United States has in the past and in present succeeded or attempted to limit people of color's involvement in democracy, and what we can do to combat those attempts. All right, to explain the government a little bit. The United States is a representative democracy, which means that instead of every person voting on every law, people vote for leaders to make decisions for them, like on their behalf. So, for example, citizens might elect members of Congress, the president, and local officials, and then those leaders create and enforce the laws. This system basically lets the public have a voice in the government through elections while still keeping the process manageable in a big country. Basically, the people hold the power, but they use it by choosing representatives who make those decisions for them. Now, the US government also uses separation of powers to prevent any one part from becoming too powerful. It's divided into three branches: the legislative branch, where Congress makes the laws, the executive branch, where the president enforces the laws, and the judicial branch, where the courts interpret the laws. Each branch has checks and balances over the others. So the president can veto laws passed by Congress can override a veto or impeach a president, and the courts can strike down laws as unconstitutional. This system keeps power balanced and protects the democracy by making sure no single branch controls everything. Another key part of how the US government works is federalism, which basically means power is shared between the national government and the state's government. So the national government deals with big issues for the whole country. Think the military and foreign policy and whatnot, while the states handle local issues like schools, police, and roads. The Constitution is considered the highest law, and both national and state governments must follow the Constitution. It also protects people's basic rights, like freedom of speech and the right to vote and stuff like that. By dividing power between the national and state levels, people have more ways to be involved and influence how the government makes decisions. It is imperative for people of color to understand how important our voices are. The amount of citizens identifying as non-white is over 40% according to USA Facts, and steadily increasing. It is crucial to understand that with these numbers, our voices deserve to be reflected by our constitutional right to vote. Another factor that proves how important our voices are the actions that have taken place historically in order to limit our voting power. One of those ways was a process called gerrymandering. Racial gerrymandering is a process that can dilute or amplify the voting power of communities of color for political gain. While made explicitly illegal through the Voting Rights Act of 1965, some argue that it still persists today, disguised as partisan gerrymandering. Modern-day gerrymandering is deeply tied to race, and it systemically weakens the political power of people of color. According to the Brennan Center's report, How Gerrymandering Tilts the 2024 Race for the House, partisan map drawers in many states have designed districts to give one party an unfair advantage, often by clustering or spreading out voters of minority communities in order to dilute their influence. The Princeton Gerrymandering Project explains these techniques clearly. Disadvantaged voters are packed into few districts won by overwhelming margins, while the rest are cracked across many districts so they never form a majority. Meanwhile, as the growing racial disparities in voter turnout of 2008 to 2022 report shows, the gap in turnout between white and non-white voters has been consistently growing since 2012, especially in regions where protections under the Voting Rights Act were stripped away after Shelby County v. Holder in 2013. Here, this means not only are fewer people of color voting relative to white citizens, but even the votes they cast can be minimized by maps drawn to mute their impact.